So okay, so we took a break from grammar this week, all right? The corrections to test, vocab test, that is, vocab test lesson 13 through 15 were due by last night. Have you guys done both your tests and your corrections at this point? I hope so. Okay, I'm not going to look right now. If you haven't gotten those corrections in, I'm actually probably going to check them right after this class because I've not done that yet. Tommy says yes. Logan nodded his head. Okay, hope that's the case. Cool. So you're all good with that. I was going to introduce ourselves to Kill a Mockingbird today, but I have not had enough people pick up their books. Logan, do you have your To Kill a Mockingbird book? Tommy, do you have your To Kill a Mockingbird book? I'm picking mine up after the Zoom call. Okay, so you're in building, obviously, right? Okay. Do you have your Mice and Men book to give back to me? Tommy has his own copy. Okay, that's totally fine. I'm going to make a note of that. Rogers and copy. Tommy, I still need your Mice and Men book back. Did you have a Mice and Men book out? I could look at a list, but I don't have it in front of me right now. So, had your own copy of that too. Okay, cool. So you don't need anything from me. I don't need anything from you. You're all good. And Logan, you're going to come by. All right. So you guys are all good with that. But I'm holding off on really starting the book because I got way too many people that don't have the book yet. I know we've had a lot of days off, but I look back and it was last week of January when I first put out the request to come get those books. So it's been a long time, and now it's time to start. We can't wait too long because I want to finish it this quarter. So we'll talk about that Monday. I did just finally put up the assignment post for the argumentative research paper. So let's take a look at that. That's the other big thing we need to look at today. So there's no due date yet, but it's going to be sometime maybe late next week, something like that. Please see the rubric at the bottom for expectations. If you did your job on the outline, most of the work for making the final draft of this should just be copying and pasting and formatting your boxes of text from the outline into paragraphs, right? That's why I was encouraging you guys to write full sentences, to go ahead and put the parenthetical references in, all that stuff, and then you don't have too much work to do. And then the works cited page is the only new thing you'll make. But if you did the assignment second quarter, where we had the works cited entry and then 4 quotes below each of 3 sources, then you've already done that. All you have to do is copy and paste those onto a works cited page, okay? So included on this post is a sample paper. And although I've not put it up there yet, probably this afternoon, I'll put up a video of me talking through that sample paper, okay? But let's go ahead and look at the rubric together, or if you're watching this later, some people. So we got 10 points for the introduction, has an opening device to create interest, not just announcing a topic, and has a thesis that makes a persuasive claim and has a 3-part blueprint. We talked about this a million times, right? It's the first thing we wrote. You should have that ready to go. Body paragraphs, 3 body paragraphs correspond with that thesis blueprint, as in, you know, social distancing and masks are a good idea because of this, this, and this, right? That's what the 3 paragraphs are. They're organized, they're persuasive, they contain multiple relevant quotes that support the points. 30 points there, 10 for each body paragraph, essentially. Conclusion begins with a properly stated thesis, restated thesis, and then it ends effectively with closing device. Parenthetical references, as in parentheses right after each quote, it says where you got it, with the first item that's in that works cited entry, either the name of the article or the name of the author. If you don't do that, 50%, not even gonna look at it. And then MLA format in general, want to look a certain way, have the heading, paragraphs double spaced, and have an actual works cited page. Without that, that takes you down to 50% too. Use some transitions to move one paragraph to another. I'll re-up that handout about that. And the papers are going to complete sentences. Use appropriate punctuation and capitalization. We lost Logan. What happened to Logan? All right, Tommy, stick around. Have to go to the gym. Okay. Finally, for Tommy or for anybody else who is watching this later, here is a model. Now, this is not a paper that is about the same subject that you guys are writing about, but it shows you what it should look like. Here's how the heading should look. We have an introduction with an opening device, leads up to a thesis, access to Planned Parenthood clinics should stay available for women and men at high because they provide screenings, sexual education, and overall a great source of healthcare for minorities, impoverished people, and those who live in rural areas. So there's that persuasive claim, 3-part blueprint, and there's paragraphs that contain quotes. You can see there's a parenthetical reference after each quote. They bring them up, they comment on them. Here's another quote, parenthetical reference where you got it. And if I look back to the works cited page, okay, there's what that looks like. You can see the sources that are being referenced by the parenthetical references. They're arranged in alphabetical order. They're spaced like this. First line goes on the left, other lines get indented once. You can see where each one starts clearly, and there's 4 sources on that one. Conclusion restates the thesis, and then has a closing device. Okay, in other words, all the things that we saw asked for in that rubric. Okay, due probably end of next week. I'll put a video on there soon, as well as a due date. Tommy, do you have any questions, since you're the only one actually here now? Take that as a no. Okay. Not right now. Okay, let me know. You can always email me too. Anybody else out there, you can always email me. Please come get the books. Don't make me start taking participation grades off for not coming and getting it, but that's what I'll start doing next week. So come get it, or let me know by taking a picture of you holding your own copy or pointing at the screen where you have your digital copy. That's fine too, but I want to know you've got it. All right, see ya.